There is a lot of information available online around how to become a technical program manager at Amazon or other MANG companies, but quite honestly, almost all of it is just wrong. This is why I sat down with Madhur Mehta, a TPM at Amazon and a UT Dallas Masters in Business Analytics alumni, to break down exactly what skill sets are needed for TPM roles, how to start building your profile starting in the first semester itself, resume tailoring, and finally a super detailed walkthrough of the entire interview process.
If you see a role posted on LinkedIn by someone, it's pretty easy to find their official email ID and to send a cold email.
You're applying for a business analyst and then ended up as TPM. Do you mind walking us through what that was like?
Once you clear that round, then you have a 5-hour long loop round.
Wow, that is intense. I'm Naman Pandey. This is the Ready Set To podcast, and by the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to build your profiles for TPM positions at Big Tech and also exactly what to expect in the interview rounds for the same.
They will ask you how you have come to 15%. Tell me the numerator, denominator. Why did not you consider this? Why you consider that?
From your bar raiser loop, was it really hard? How did you cope with that?
If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. If you are coming to United States, you have to get out of your comfort zone.
In line with our theme of learning from high agency individuals who are just a few steps ahead of us, my goal with this episode is to help anyone looking to break into TPM positions and equip them with the accurate knowledge and tools to do the same. Subscribe on YouTube and any of your favorite podcast apps for weekly episodes featuring high agency individuals and daily clips from those episodes on YouTube and Instagram. I have a bunch of how to break into various roles episodes at this point, and I'll be linking all of them in the description below, so please do check them out. And now, without any further ado, here's Madhur. Welcome to the only podcast in the world featuring stories of high agency individuals who are just a few steps ahead of us. Madhur, welcome.
Thank you, Naman, for inviting.
Of course, yeah, I know we've been planning to do this for a while, so yeah, really happy to be finally doing this. And yeah, just to kick off and jump into the deep end of things here, can you walk us through a day in the life of a technical program manager at Amazon?
Sure, Naman. I will love to. So currently, it's been 5 months since I joined Amazon. I am working as a program manager at Amazon, based out of Seattle, Washington. Specifically, I am working with the forecasting, planning, and research team. It comes under the customer trust organization.
Okay.
So it's a very highly cross-functional role, I would say. It sits at the intersection of data, strategy, and execution. And now with AI coming up, there are a lot of new tools or new roads that we are going to take specifically in this sector.
Got it.
So as a program manager, my main focus is on driving programs that improve how we forecast number of investigators.
Investigators, okay. And what are you investigating?
So whenever you place an order on Amazon and you fill out your delivery address, your name, your card details, 99.5% of the orders, it goes through a machine learning, like 100% of the orders, it goes through machine learning model, but 99.5% it passes through the model to verify if it is a genuine order or some bad actor is trying to take some advantage of the system.
Interesting. And that's keeping in mind that mostly in the US, you pay for your orders. So somebody, even this bad actor, would probably be losing a lot of money by doing this, but still you have systems in place to make sure that there's no repeat orders and such. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. So obviously, there are a lot of drivers, I would say, where different teams, they are tracking that through your IP address, through your name, whose card you are using, what was the delivery pin code, what was the order pin code, and lot of other drivers. Now, since for the 0.5% of the order, which, the system detects that it might be, someone, a bad actor trying to place an order, for that you need manual intervention.
Okay.
And employees who do the manual intervention, they are called investigators.
I see. Got it. Makes sense.
So my team forecast that how many number of investigators you will be needing. So
Wow.
it again brackets into long term and short term forecasting. And I guess up to this point I can share, and then it's all within the team.
Proprietary. Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes total sense. And yeah, appreciate you sharing that because, yeah, this is very fascinating. And I mean, I don't know if this is common knowledge outside just in the world, but I, for one, did not know that. And just for those of our listeners who are, wondering about TPM type of roles in general. So I know my understanding is that even though there are TPM roles in most tech organizations, the actual activities or job description actually differs a lot, right? Between say an Amazon or even like Meta, Google, you name it, right? So I'm curious for Amazon specifically, what are some of the most important skill sets that one needs? These can be tools, right? These can be, technical skills as well as soft skills. But yeah, what would be, according to you, maybe we can list a top three of each that anybody looking for TPM roles at Amazon are, must have these skills.
Yeah, so we can divide it into two parts, I would say. First is the technical, and other is the business skill. I guess with the technical skill, it's obviously SQL.
Okay.
And it depends on the team also. A lot of teams, they prefer Python also. So it depends on the team. But yeah, if you are well equipped with SQL and Python, you are good to go. Second would be the data visualization part, although Amazon uses their internal tool. But yeah, if you are good with either Power BI or Tableau, you are good to go. And then obviously Excel. Excel, I believe, is an underrated tool.
Yeah.
Or a lot of simple analysis, simple variance calculation, or simple data deep dive. It goes through Excel only.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the top three skills I would rate from the technical side. And from the non-tech, obviously stakeholder management is the number one skill which you must have. Second, I would say business requirement gathering part. It is very, very important in Amazon. And I believe both these skills. Uh, a lot of projects, a lot of programs that you do where it completely depends how well you can understand these two things and how you can manage these two things.
Absolutely.
So, anyone who is trying to, prepare for an interview or trying to get a job at Amazon, they can focus on these five things.
That's super helpful. Yeah, really appreciate that, and I love how simply actionable that is. Right, like go start learning those things. So and then obviously from there, I know you got your master's in business analytics, I believe, from UTD, right? So yeah, just to think back in terms of my experience with my master's, a lot of my really close friends at Purdue were from the business analytics program actually, and I think something that just is really curious to me is just the wide variety of roles that you apparently are eligible for with a degree like MSBA. So yeah, I'm curious to explore your experience while at UTD when you were getting your degree. Any courses, maybe any skill sets or any tools that you picked up during your time there that you think actively contributed to you cracking the TPM role at Amazon, and that has really helped you in your career. So you can think of this from the perspective of maybe a first semester student, right? At really any American MSBA program, or it can be MIS, MEM. They're kind of all the same if you really think about it. But yeah, what are some things that these students can start doing right from the first semester that would set them up for success? Similar to the path that you have found.
It's a great question, Naman. And a lot of students, they do reach out to me, before, accepting any,
Yeah.
admit in US. And so UTD was a game changer for me. I guess, but yeah, I had one thing that I had like 4 or 5 years of work experience when I was coming here.
And what was that in? What can you walk us through your past experience? This will be roughly.
Yeah, so I was working with Tata AG General Insurance back in India as a business analyst, and I worked there for 3.5 years. Prior to that, I worked as a chemical engineer. So
Fascinating.
yeah, I did my undergrad in chemical engineering, and I worked as a chemical engineer for a couple of years. Then I decided to go for MBA. Then I got campus placement at Tata AIG, and then after 3.5 years working as a business analyst there, I moved to States.
Nice.
And but yeah, I guess couple of things for me. First was the merit-based scholarship that I received. It's better to apply as early as possible if you are thinking of applying to UTD. If you have a decent GRE score and decent profile, you have a good chance to get the scholarship, which basically makes your tuition fees in state.
And do you have to write an essay for that? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
As any notes for what to write in that essay or what to mention?
So you can break it down into three parts, I would say. First is why you are choosing utility, what you have done, like your profile and everything,
Yeah.
and how this scholarship will help you to be a part of utility. And maybe at the last, you can mention that what uh, as an alum you can do.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. So first step is apply for scholarship, and then you were saying.
Yes. So for me, the biggest factor to go for UTD was the flexibility in choosing electives. So they give you a lot of flexibility. You have subjects ranging from core analytics, healthcare, operations, marketing. So no matter from what background you are coming, you will find subjects there, and you can decide in what field you want to pursue your career here in states, and accordingly you can go ahead and choose your electives. There are six electives and six core subjects that you have to take. So with the six electives, it's completely up to the student what they want to study. uh, for me, it was more of trying to get out of my comfort zone and build my networking and soft skills. So you will find a lot of career fairs, a lot of conference, a lot of networking events, happening at the campus. Irrespective if you're from a business school or from a computer science school, there are a lot of common, events that happen. And if you want to actually network, you can start as early as possible.
True, true.
And yeah, there are a lot of international conferences where a lot of PhD holders, a lot of professors from different universities, they come, and you can be a part of it through volunteering opportunities.
Yeah.
I tried that and I made some good connections over there.
Nice.
And yeah, I would say try to be as active as you can. And I guess during my initial weeks only, I had an interaction with my program director, and he said one line which stuck with me. He said that if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you.
Hmm.
So if you are coming to United States, spending a lot of money, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to do things that makes you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. So I love that.
That was a mantra for me. And
No, that's so good. Yeah. And even thinking back to my own experience, I feel like all of the few good things that I have been able to achieve have somehow always been connected to, me putting myself in situations that I could have avoided, right? Like it was the hard thing to do, it was the uncomfortable thing to do, but I like put myself there, and yeah, things have a way of working out, right? And then speaking of things working out, I am curious, and this is something that I get asked a lot, and I'm sure you also get asked a lot, that when you were, figuring out, as you were saying about the electives, did you already know that you definitely only wanted to go towards program manager umbrella of roles, or were you more open when it came to deciding the electives? Because I'm sure you understand what I'm getting at, which is that it's a bit of a chicken and egg problem, right? Like if you don't know what you want, then what electives do you take? And if you want what electives do you take, then you kind of cornering yourself into a certain type of umbrella of roles only. So how did you navigate that piece?
so I actually wanted to go to the technical side. I had some marketing electives and operational electives because that's what my background was. And yeah, it's very important. Out of six electives, I would say you should have clarity for at least 2 to 3 upfront when you are applying for the program or when you are trying to join the program. The best thing that I did, a new student can do, I only took the core subjects in first semester just to understand about the program and about how a US education system works, how the market is doing. So for first 3 4 months, I was only studying the mandatory subjects, not the elective.
I actually really like your call out around not going crazy with picking random electives in your first semester, because that's actually exactly the mistake that I made in my first semester at producer. Similar to you, right? I was like, great, yeah, let's study machine learning because there was an elective for that. So I picked it, and it turns out in the entire first week of classes that I attended, it was like actually machine learning. Like it was just pure math, just matrices, and yeah, it's just. And I was like, whoa. And like, first of all, I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, but this is not what I was expecting. And I also definitely did not sign up for this. And contrary to you, I was actually, at least at the time in my head, trying to go away from tech. Like, so I was like, this is a big, waste. I will probably fail this class if I continue. So thankfully, I was able to drop it and I was able to find something else. But yeah, I could have avoided that entire episode if I had just, stick to the norm, right? As you said, figure stuff out, look before you leap, figure out how stuff works. So yeah, I think that's really, really good advice for, I would say, most people. Right? Again, you can't have, there's no such thing as 100% advice, but at least as a blueprint, I do think that that stands out pretty well. And then, can you walk us through your time with, I guess, your entire job application process? And we'll get to the Amazon piece specifically in just a second, but I'm curious. And in, like, again, I'm sure you have dozens of these discussions every week with people that reach out to you. Are you more of a proponent of the spray and pray approach, where you just kind of blind applying to a lot of jobs, or do you believe in the more, you know selective, intentional networking type of applications, or somewhere in between? What's your take on the, at least as of 2025, how should students be applying according to you?
Taking from the current time, I would say a mix of both. That's what, I suggest a lot of, job seekers who are trying to find either internship or full time. Times have changed in past 4 years, from the time when, I was looking for, internship. I used to get at least, couple of calls every week, but now things have changed. So I would say a mix of both spray and pray and a focused approach. More inclined towards focused approach. And what worked for me and what I suggest a lot of job seekers is to take the advantage of cold emails.
Interested. Okay.
It's pretty easy to find, like, if you see a role posted on LinkedIn by someone, it's pretty easy to find their official email ID. You have a lot of tools where you can find their email ID and try to send a cold email. And with the cold email also, I would say keep it short.
Okay.
I have seen a lot of emails where, job seekers, they are posting 2 to 3 paragraphs. Sadly, no one has the time to read, to go through all.
In the middle of a work day, right?
Yeah, right.
No chance. Yeah.
Hiring managers, I was speaking to one hiring manager. She was telling me that they get 1,000 resumes every week.
Wow. Wait, from cold DMs or cold emails?
No, from like their internal, yeah, from the portal, internal, people reaching out. So, approximately 1,000 every week. And obviously, they don't have the time to go through each and everything. So, I would say keep it very short, keep it precise. Depending on the role you are targeting, break it down into 3, 4 major points where you want to focus on your technical skills or business skills or program management skills. Uh, I would say people, this is what, my observation has been, where a lot of job seekers, they rely too much on the referrals.
Yeah.
Referral is good. Obviously, I got my first call in Amazon through referral only. But
Was this role for your TPM role that you're at currently?
no, that's a different journey. I actually started with a business analyst role.
Okay, interesting. Wow, what, that's a big step up. Yeah, would love to explore that, but yeah, please continue.
Yes. So yeah, I would say for the referral, if you know someone who can refer you, in maybe in couple of hours, once the role opens up and you are in the first 50 to 100 applicants of that particular role, you have a higher chance of getting picked. Like your resume has a higher chance. But yeah, if the person who is referring you is taking 3, 4 days, I don't think so. That's a good approach.
Right, because you're then just getting buried by there's thousands of resumes on top of you, and yeah, you just lost. That
Correct.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say just if you know these are my 10 to 15 target companies, just have someone from those companies where they can refer you maybe in couple of hours. Try to apply to roles as early as possible, and you should like this has been a change in past couple of years where people just used to project their experience points and some of the college projects, but now companies are mostly focusing on how you can actually solve a business problem, and they are more interested in what you have done and how it impacted your previous organization. Yes. So this is what, a change that I noticed. And if you can showcase that on your resume, following again the STAR method that we have and mentioning or highlighting some of the projects that you have done in a similar way, it gives a higher probability of getting your resume selected.
Absolutely. Yeah. So just, show, don't tell, like that what you've done, just make it super obvious for that way. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that tracks with me. And past guests on this show have also kind of shared similar things, right? They've said that referrals are slightly overrated or can be overrated, right? And sometimes it just makes sense to go ahead and apply instead of waiting around for one.
Correct.
Because they really don't add that much as people might think. But yeah, so from there, could you talk us through your, I'm very curious to explore your journey at Amazon. I know you just said that you're applying for a business analyst, and then clearly you somehow ended up as TPM, which that's awesome. Really happy for you. But I'm sensing there's a bit of a story there. So do you mind walking us through what that was like?
Sure, Naman. So my friend, he started working for Amazon in October 23, and I know him from my MBA days. So
Okay.
almost 9 years of friendship. And when he started, he, we were speaking one day, and he, told me that you should start applying for Amazon now. Previously, I was only looking for the internship position at Amazon, but I didn't get any call. So he started referring me. We worked on the resume since my background was in business analyst, and I was working as a business analyst with my previous company.
Yeah,
So I thought it's a best bet that
true,
I should go for a similar role.
true. Makes sense.
And he started referring me in September last year, which was 2024. And I got one assessment in just couple of days for a BA L5 position. So uh, for the first step, you have a hacker rank you know, test that you have to clear. You have certain set of questions under a certain set of time. You have to clear that. I clear that, then you have a round with
And
HR.
is that live? Is the hacker rank round live, or you can take it in your own time?
No, it's not live. You get 120 minutes to finish. There are 23 questions, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, they give you 7 days. You can take it from your home. You can take it in your setting.
Okay.
You just
And
have to finish it in 7 days.
okay, cool. So that's step one.
At step one, then you have a call with HR, where they ask you certain set of questions ranging from the salary expectations. Do you need any immigration support? You have to come to 5 days to office at so and so location, and couple of other questions also. So
Like
that
basic screening stuff, pretty much. Like nothing too crazy. Yeah.
no, so it's not a. They do not filter out candidates mostly, unless until there's some exceptional case.
So if somebody says that I'm not going to come in person, obviously that won't work.
Yeah. So next is your phone screening round. Phone screening is basically a round either with a hiring manager or someone within your team. So depending on the role, it's like for a BA or for SD role, it's technical, where it's a live coding round, where the person who is taking your interview, they will share a link of a platform and they will ask you to write the code for the problems that they share.
Got it.
So it's a 1 hour round, and at the end, they might ask you questions on your resume and Amazon's leadership.
So is this on Lead Code, or what platform do they use
It live code.
for live code? And what's like the level of difficulty for these?
So it depends on the role level. So if it's a L5 role, you can expect medium to hard questions. If it's an L4 role, you can expect easy to medium questions. And if it's an L6 role, obviously you expect hard.
Yeah, makes sense. And then how did you go about preparing for these? Any tips or any pointers on how one can upskill or crack these, or just where to practice, how to practice, any resources there?
So I practiced a lot. So my first go-to platform is obviously Lead Code, where you do 50 top 50 SQL interview questions.
Makes sense.
Where
That's
yeah,
playlist, right? I think it's pretty
yep,
popular.
playlist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They are trying to match the level of companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and
Nice.
other companies where you can find similar questions there. So I was kind of, preparing that, and my work also involved SQL. So I was continuously, working on SQL also.
Nice.
So yeah, it was like if someone who doesn't have a background, I would say try with HackerRank and then graduate to lead code. If you are able to clear or solve lead code problems by yourself, you are good to.
Awesome. Love it. Great. So that was round 3, right?
Yeah, yes, that was round 3, and expect couple of leadership principle questions also. So it's best you prepare for that also.
And these are behavioral mostly, right?
Behavior, like how did you manage the conflict within your team? Tell me a time when you missed the deadline. And
Yeah, and you have to stick to, I think it's 16 Amazon principles. Is that right? Or how many are there? 16.
yes,
Yeah, I remember from my days of applying. So, and yeah, you kind of have to you have to use one or more of those in each of your responses, right? Like you were leveraging those principles pretty much. Okay.
correct. Yeah, you can use couple of leadership principles in the same answers, and try to be as organic as you can. So a lot of us, you can start preparing and you see that it's not adding up as an organic answer. You try to be as organic as you
Makes sense. Okay. So yeah, you did your coding round, you did your a few if they ask you leadership type questions, and then is there around 4?
Yes. So yeah, some you can also expect some questions on your resume.
Okay, in that same third round at the end of that coding round. Okay.
Yes. So if your resume has certain, experience or project that they think is directly aligned with the role you are applying for, you can expect you know, questions around that.
Did yours have that? Did yours? Okay. So got it. And how rigorous, I guess, are these questions?
Uh, so initially, I don't think so. It's that rigorous. They expect you to answer in star format. So if you are, as long as you are following the format, but you have to be thorough with your answers. You just cannot, touch the surface, and you have to maybe sometimes deep dive in your answers to explain what really happened and how it's now, impacting the company.
Yep, makes sense.
Then once you clear that round, then you have a 5 hour long loop round, where five, yeah, it sounds too much.
That is intense. Like it's just continuous. Is that right?
So it depends on you. You can either take it in one day or you can split it in 2 days. They ask you for the slots. You can. It's completely up to you if you want to take a break of half an hour, 1 hour between the interviews, and you share your preferences of the slot, and accordingly they schedule.
Did you do yours all in one day then?
So the tricky part is that the position for which I got the loop, I submitted my preferences for it, and couple of days before the loop, they told me the role has been filled.
Oh no.
So
Like internally, did they say, wow. Yeah, it's always an internal backfill. Always.
yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get the chance to take the loop interview. That was in November last year, 2024.
Wow.
I requested HR to find another similar position, maybe within the same team or with a different team that she is handling. And she was kind enough to find, I guess, one more position after 25 days. But for that, I had to give the phone screening, again, all the way in the live coding, questions on leadership principle and resume.
Wow. That's just, man.
So
That's tough.
that was tough. It was, I guess, at the end of December.
Okay.
I gave it again. I cleared that again. Then I again submitted the slots for the loop. I took it in 2 days. So 2 interviews in one day, and next day you have 3 interviews.
I see.
Half an hour break in between.
I see.
But yeah, it was intense. You can expect one bar raiser out of, but you do not know who the bar raiser is. So
Sorry, what's the bar raiser? I'm not familiar.
Bar raiser is someone who will ask more questions, or you can expect tougher questions, I would say, more follow-up questions. So bar raiser is someone who is at least 2 levels above the position you are interviewing for.
I see. So basically, somebody that just grills you really hard. Bit much, right? Okay. Got it. And they don't say who it is.
You do not know who that. Huh. So they will tell you who the hiring manager is out of those five, interviewers. But yeah, you do not know who the bar raiser is. But
And
yeah,
are all five interviewing you at the same time, or is it one round after another?
one person is like
Oh,
one.
That's why it's the loop. I see. Makes sense.
That's why, yeah, it's the do. So you finish one round with one person, then you move to the second round with second person.
And what do they ask in these? Are these similar across various members of the loop, or is it kind of the same stuff but regurgitated?
So you have to focus completely on the leadership principle. You have to have your stories,
Mostly behavioral then.
behavior. But yeah, you can expect some questions from the hiring manager. If you are interviewing for a technical round, you can expect some questions. From the hiring manager, they can ask you questions like for this role. I was asked SQL questions or Power BI questions with more leadership principle questions too.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, it was intense. It was good. I enjoyed it. I was stressed out, but yeah, I started preparing like in September, October. So it gave me a good amount of time to actually prepare for it.
And then from your bar raiser loop specifically, anything you can share about that? Like, was it, really hard? How did you cope with that? Did you know this one was the bar raiser? Like, can you share anything about that?
Yeah. So my uh, first for my loop, third interviewer was my bar raiser, which was my first interview on the second day.
Got it.
And I figured it out based on the questions he was, asking.
Do you have a sample? Just, I'm so curious.
So it depends on the story. So it completely depends on your story. If let's say you said that, okay, I did this automation part where I was able to save 15% man hours for my team.
Yeah.
Just taking an example.
Yeah.
They will ask you each and everything. What was the, process that company was following before you implemented this? How you have come to 15%? Tell me the numerator, tell me the denominator. Why did not you consider this? Why you consider that? So they asked me questions on the single word that I used. So I told them that my previous company was using an internal tool to schedule for no, it was for Tata AD, sorry. So I shared one story that my company was using an internal tool for the claim verification. So they asked me like, what was the name of the tool? When did the company started it? What was the API like? What was the UI like? So I didn't expect questions there, but yeah, they asked me.
Got it. Wow.
So
And is it ever advisable to be like, actually, you're right. That is something I should have considered. I did not consider that. And if I do, maybe the efficiency would be closer to 12% instead of 15.
yes,
Is that a good thing to do? Okay. Like,
yes. So if like I would say if you're answering in the star format, your most important part is the action and the result. So
correct.
action will come first, then you will have the result part.
Result. Yeah.
And you just cannot scratch the surface. You have to deep dive. You have to tell like how this result has come out.
Mm-hmm.
You have to give your all maths that you have done, everything.
Right.
If and they prefer answers which shows depth in the result.
That makes sense naturally, right? Because
Yes.
that shows that you've done your homework. You're not
Yes.
just spouting random numbers,
Correct.
out of thin air. And are you allowed to bring? So the way I'm visualizing this is, if I
Mm.
were in your position, I would, for every project that I mention on my resume, I would have like a detailed breakdown of all of my action items, all of my numbers, where they're coming from. Right? It's just easiest if you have it written down because you can then structure your thoughts accordingly. So are you allowed to bring in materials, or do you have to like come up with everything on the spot without any supplemental materials?
Mm. So I didn't use any material, but yeah, I have heard if you tell the HR or interviewer, you can have rough notes
Okay.
where you can just writing keywords. Okay,
Right,
for
right.
this
Scribble
project or
just like
for
a
this.
cheat sheet almost.
Yes, cheat sheet. You
Yeah.
can have that. That's not an issue. And what I did, I asked 60 seconds upfront before answering any question. So
Got it.
I told each one of my interview that I'll be taking 60 to 90 seconds before, answering you to articulate my thoughts and to put it in a right and proper way. So don't rush for your answers. Take your time. For 1 hour round, you can expect at least 3 questions and at max 5 questions. This
And
is what,
obviously this is not including follow-ups, right? Because you will have a
not
bunch of
including
yeah,
follow-ups.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, that's so interesting. So I'm sure it must have happened where they asked you a question. You probably knew, like, more or less what you
Hmm.
wanted to say, but you still stopped yourself and you were still like, no, I still need 60 seconds. Is that right?
Yes, yes. Obviously,
Interesting.
I prepared it, so I know, okay, this is what, I'm going to answer
Yeah,
for this. But yeah, I
exactly.
still took my time. I still paused. I still took my 60 to 90 seconds, and they are patient enough to give you that time. That's not
That
an
is
issue.
so interesting. And you didn't feel pressured that they were just watching you while you kind of were
Uh,
thinking or something?
to be honest, yeah, with couple of interviewers, it was little, intense.
Yeah.
But yeah, others were kind enough, and
That's awesome, man. Wow. I mean, you are definitely much more confident than I am.
yeah,
I can
no,
I
no,
can tell you that much because I would just crack. I would just be like, it's 30 seconds. I have a decent idea of what I want to say. I would just be like, okay, let's go. Like, let's just break the silence. It's too awkward. You know? Um, but
I
no,
believe
that's
in one theory, Naman.
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry
No,
to
no,
interrupt
please
you.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
I believe in one theory, and I actually started following it from last couple of years only.
Mhm.
Uh, I read it somewhere that you don't have to figure out 100% of the thing that you are starting.
Mm.
Right. Just start, just take a step. And uh it's valid for anything that you are doing, either for,
Yeah,
interview or for anything that you are doing. So even thought, I started in my mind when, I was taking 60 to 90 seconds, I was first thinking about the situation, task, then
action,
action, then
result.
result. So
Yeah.
once I thought, okay, I have now the situation and task with me clearly in my mind, I started, speaking about it.
Mm,
And eventually, as I was speaking, I was thinking of, okay, this was the problem and I did this for that. So eventually
exactly.
the action and the result part would come, organically.
Organically, yeah. And also you get into kind of a flow state, right? When you're
Yes,
starting to say these answers, it's like, yeah, you're locked in, you know what you want to say, and you have like a right, a good flow going.
correct.
Yeah, and I love what you said about just start and you will figure it out as you go because yeah, that's literally word to word the theme of my
Yes.
show. Like Ready
Yeah.
Set To, that's literally what it
Yes.
stands for. And I love it when organically through conversation a guest will say or reinforce that
Hmm.
long-standing belief I have, which is exactly what you said, right? Like, yeah, the only way to learn is by doing, and doing is just everything just always boils down to doing. If you're not doing things,
Hmm.
you're probably not going to make it. So
Correct.
before we move on from this, any final thoughts just specifically around the Amazon interview experience that you would want our listeners to know that might be listening? And I know you've covered it in great detail, but I wanted to make sure if maybe something, any aspect that we did not cover or anything that you would want to mention just around the interview piece.
So yeah, but yeah, just to take one more minute, Naman.
Of course.
After giving this loop, I didn't get the offer because I
Oh,
was interviewing for a business analyst role, and my result was that panelist think that you are a better fit for a program manager role. So I had to give the loop again for a program manager role. 5 hour loop.
oh man, no.
I wanted to share it like intentionally because people who will be
Ah,
listening, my like my motive is to tell them not to give up. You know, I again interviewed for a program manager loop, and I did it 5 hours straight, back to back in one single day.
so when that recruiter came back to you after
Yeah,
25 days, that was, I thought you said that was for a TPM role, but no, it
no,
was
that
just for
was
a
a business
different.
analyst role.
Got it, got it, got it. Oh man. And then were they very different from each other or were they mostly the same, like the two loops that you gave?
So for business analyst, I focus mostly on the analytics and SQL
Yeah,
part, the technical side, and for the program management loop, I focus mostly on the stakeholder
got it.
management, cross-functional, working style and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
non-tech skills, you would say.
Interesting. And why did you do that? Like, and I know it's like kind of feels obvious, but did you have any signal? Did somebody tell you? Did you ask the recruiter that this was the right move? Because it feels pretty like
Yes.
a pretty ballsy move, pardon my language, to
No,
to
that's
do
right.
this. Yeah.
They shared the feedback, and At that time, I had already spent 4 months in the process.
Exactly. It's just
and
unbelievable. Yeah.
and I didn't want to give up at that time. And I thought now it's like do or die. And
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, what do you have to lose, right? You've
yes,
already you're like
yes.
a Amazon interviewing veteran at this point. You just do it for fun. You could probably clear these blindfolded at this point, given how many you've already cleared. No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, thanks so much for sharing that. That does really change, or it just adds such a you know rich color to your entire experience
Hmm.
that even after all of this, it wasn't enough, but you kept going, and then
Yeah.
it was enough. So yeah,
Yes.
kudos to your perseverance there, and for not giving up.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. Raman.
of course. And then, yeah, really just the last segment here. Just
Hmm.
wanted to quickly touch on something you said in the very beginning. And again,
Hmm.
totally understand if this is outside of your,
Hmm.
what you're allowed to say on a public
Hmm.
domain. But yeah,
Hmm.
and I guess maybe we can even remove Amazon from this entire question, right? I guess
Hmm.
what I'm getting at is with the advent of AI, with the rise of AI now,
Hmm.
again, if there is a student currently that aims or dreams of getting a TPM role at, we can say, any tech organization,
Hmm.
obviously AI is now something, a skill that they're expected to have.
Correct.
Firstly, if you could confirm that, okay, great. And if so, maybe could you talk us through how a student could go about upskilling themselves, maybe any resources that you found that were helpful, or even
Hmm.
just kind of like a framework that they could use, that okay, this is the skill sets that I need specifically around AI, and here's where to go to get.
Got it. So specifically, if we are talking about the TPM role or any role, I would say,
Uh-huh.
if any student wants to, pursue their career in tech side, uh, first you have to understand like where do you want to go. So if you want to go in the software development side, or if you want to go for a technical program product manager, accordingly you have to start learning about AI. So as
Okay.
a program manager or as a product manager, you are not expected to build something, right?
Yeah. True.
At least not on a larger scale.
Yes.
So you are more expected to leverage it. You are expected to get rid of the repetitive task that you are doing or replacing it with AI to save your time. You have to bring in some AI within your day-to-day work, where you can showcase, okay, I am more efficient now, I can spend more time. So let's say specifically for Amazon, and you can include this, everyone knows this.
Okay.
Document writing is a very important part
Yes,
here.
that's true because there's no presentations, right?
Yes.
Yep.
And they are very thorough. You have to follow a format.
Got it.
Now if I'm writing a weekly document that I have to present to management every week, and if I'm spending 7 to 8 hours, I can try to automate it through an internal AI tool.
Yep.
As a program manager, I can do that.
Yep.
This is what you are expected to do. A lot of companies, where they have resources, they have their internal AI tools or internal apps, which you can leverage. So in Amazon specifically, we have one platform where you can develop your own apps, like for a
Wow.
day-to-day work. So
That's awesome. Wow.
if I have to send minutes of meeting, for example,
Hmm.
I can just put rough notes, or I can just take the transcript from the meeting, like we are doing. We can
Yeah.
just put transcript in this meeting, and I can just copy paste the transcript. It will prepare each and everything for me that I need.
Yep. Nice.
Previously it used to be like you have to put in few hours, you have to refine your work, and then only you will be able to send it. But
Hmm.
now
Hmm.
with the help of AI, I can do this. And if you just entered the a master program, and you want to learn more about AI, I would say take few courses on Udemy. That's what I did when
Yeah.
I was learning more about AI. I had a friend in Facebook who helped me with some of the courses.
Awesome.
The problem is that everything is changing in 6 months now.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Just
Couple of
obsolete.
years,
Hmm.
yes, couple of years back we were talking about LLMs. Now we are talking about Gen AI, and now
Right.
there's new term called agentic AI.
Agentic. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And 2 days back only I learned that there's one more thing, which is multiple agent, uh,
Yep. Mhm.
multiple agents, who are taking
Exactly.
decisions
Yep.
for any task that you are doing.
Mhm.
So yeah, if someone can try to learn more, in this side, it will be good for them. And don't think that you have to develop something, but just think how you can make your repetitive work more, efficient.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. That's a very helpful call out. And I think once you start to figure out how your repetitive work can get automated, you
Hmm.
can already be at a point where you can probably start thinking about developing some things as well, right? So it,
Correct.
it kind of goes hand in hand, but I like that. I like what you said because it's not that overwhelming, right? You just,
Correct.
figure out how to make your own life easier and the rest will fall into
Correct.
place as
Correct.
needed. Um, yeah, honestly, that this has been such an enriching experience for me to like learn about your journey, and obviously you've seen again, like I don't mean to beat this dead horse, but yeah, I just feel just inspired, really, listening to your story and what you have to go through to get to where you are. But hopefully, you'll agree that it was worth it, right? And that's what makes life so interesting and so worth it overall, because things have a way of working out if you want something badly enough, prepare for it, and really work really, really hard for it. So,
Yes.
really appreciate you taking the time here today. I know that anybody listening that is looking at TPM rules, whether or not at Amazon, will be hugely helped by what you shared. And yeah, I hope you to continue to support you from a distance and continue to engage with you, especially on
Mhm.
LinkedIn. I know you put like a lot of helpful content out there. And yeah, truly, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you, Naman. This is a great, conversation, and I wanted to thank you for inviting me first of all.
Of course,
And
yeah,
I wanted to share my story mostly to, inspire or help people, to give them this thing that do not give up.
yep,
You have to do your work. You have to do your part. There's no shortcut to success. You have to do hard work. Then you prepare it. Then you speak to, try to speak to a lot of people. Try to learn from their experience. Try to, uh, learn from their learnings.
yeah,
And, just keep trying. I know there were ups and downs in my journey also, but the only
absolutely
thing that I, kept doing is to not give up. So just
amazing.
keep going, keep doing the things that you are doing, and eventually you will be in a place where you want to.
Amazing. That was so good. Thank you.
Thank you, Naman. Thank you so much.